Welcome to We Have No Cares, a very special episode with exactly twice as many voices as you would normally expect.
Yes.
Maths is my strong point. I'm Nicole Hay.
I'm Robert Borthwick.
I'm Iain Walker.
I'm Fridgey.
It's Fridgey, the return of Fridgey.
Hiya, Fridgey.
Yay. And the debut of Iain Walker. Thank you for coming, Iain Walker.
It's my house. You came here.
Thank you for destroying the magic of radio, Iain Walker. Yes, Iain Walker is here because he went to Alloa and watched Heart of Midlothian majestically dominate
What a win!
in a commanding performance.
To be fair, it's a better ratio than some of the podcasts we've had this year. At least a quarter of us actually went to the game, so we have some input.
And I saw about a quarter of it from that tiny little muddy hill of shite.
So what, the place to begin then is Alloa. That seems like a place. Talk us through
It is
it.
a place, yes.
Tell me about the place.
It's got a bridge quite near it.
It's got a bridge, right?
Apparently it's got a tower. There's signposts everywhere for a tower.
Did you see the tower?
I think I did, but it's not very impressive.
So what we're saying is maybe not the best place to visit just on a day off.
No.
Is there pubs?
They do have pubs, yes.
They have pubs.
I visited a pub.
That's a
Are
good
the
start.
pub's family friendly?
From what I saw, yes. Although,
I'm
not
not
many
going
of the
there then.
families seem very friendly. So.
Well, there you go.
So did you walk the streets of Alloa? Did you get a real feel for the culture? Were they buzzing? Were they happy to welcome in?
There was,
a
there was a
big,
small
big
child on
club?
a scooter who didn't seem to be able to say anything except Alloa. That was mainly the only person from Alloa I saw who was on a scooter.
Great.
Every time he saw a Hearts fan, he just went, "Ah!" like that. It was a strange noise.
Are we sure he was saying Alloa and not just joking?
It was either an attempt to wind up Hearts fans or a desperate plea for help.
The town of Alloa.
Congratulations, Alloa. You got under our skin. And the majestic Indodrill Stadium?
Indodrill.
Indodrill.
Indodrill. It'll always be Recreation Park to me.
Yes, always and forever. You've been to Recreation Park, haven't you, Fridgey?
I have indeed, although I didn't see Hearts there.
Oh,
Did you see Alloa?
I did see Alloa,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah. The other team, I believe, was Ayr United.
Oh, okay.
We were meant to go to Dundee United versus Hearts, but it got rained off. And
So
last
you went
minute,
to Alloa?
yeah. Well,
Because it's
like
close.
excuse me. Ayr United were playing Hibs midweek.
Right.
Afterwards, so we thought we'd go and show our support for Ayr United.
I'm sure they really appreciated it and understood why you were there.
They were a bit hostile at first, but then they realised that we came in peace and spread a message of support. And yeah, very, very anti-Derek Riordan, both sets of fans, Hearts and Ayr United.
That's great
So
news.
there was something to unite us.
Were there Alloa fans there?
One or two dotted about the other side of the pitch.
No, they're all fucking about on scooters.
Although they might have been substitutes.
I've been to Recreation Park.
Congratulations, Robert.
Thanks, man.
Tell us about
Last
it,
time we played
please.
there, we played Alloa in the League Cup, and I believe it was 2007, and the long-necked Hugo McKellar scored a hat-trick. And Bruno Aguiar...
What?
Sorry, can no one else remember this game?
No.
I'm positive I didn't make it up. Takis Fisas was captain, I even remember that.
I only remember Juho Michela scoring against Dunfermline and Barcelona.
Yes, he did score against Barcelona, but...
And Dunfermline.
and Dunfermline. All these things happened, and Dundee United.
And apparently Alloa, he just loved teams with stripes on their shirts.
He did. Well, hated them, actually. But no, it was a very good hat-trick. He looked like an accomplished striker against them.
Part-time amateurs.
Yes, absolutely.
Way to
What,
find your level, Juho. We were all rooting for you.
what a player.
So, well, to this game then, I suppose. I followed it by listening on Fourth 2, which is the first time I've been aware that there is a Fourth 2. So that was a lovely experience.
Great.
It's just above the normal fourth. Runs through Fife. Shit.
I was going to say they're building a third one.
This is what Alloa does to people. This is like Alloa is such a depressing place.
I didn't even
Osman
go to
Sow was
Alloa.
physically sick.
Their home dugout is just bins.
It's bins. Is it actually a bin shed?
I don't know what it, like. There's a noticeable away dugout. It's got a little wall and a row of seats. Quite sort of similar to most dugouts.
And footballers sitting in it. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
exactly. Yeah,
Right,
when the
okay.
game is on anyway.
Yeah.
On the other side of
How
the
do you
the
know
tunnel-
what's in there when there isn't a game on? J'accuse.
Okay, fair enough. I do sometimes hang out at Recreation Park of another sort of off day, just kind of hanging out, enjoying the atmosphere.
Just indo drilling. No idea. Yeah, bins.
Bins. So bins in the home
wheelie bins, a
dugout.
row of multicoloured wheelie bins and some depressed-looking substitutes.
All of them considering their lot in life.
Quite enjoyed the media centre as well, which had people with laptops actually on their laps, which you really rarely see these days.
Great stuff.
No, but that's a good thing to do in a sort of wet autumn game because it keeps your knees nice and toasty warm. You got to think about these things when you're covering the Scottish game. We are desperately scrabbling about for material on this podcast because, we watched the highlights. Ian went to the game. Fridgey has, I don't know what
scores on my phone.
Well done.
I was refreshing Twitter.
I think Fridgey probably had the best matchday experience out of the lot of us. It wasn't a feast of football, this game. I don't think Hearts really managed to get into their usual rhythm. I don't think Alloa quite interfere at us. Talk us through it, Iain Walker.
Didn't really see enough of the game because of the really tall guy in front of me on the really shallow slope. But what I did see was Jamie Walker being quite ineffective in the first 20 minutes. Eckersley was getting forward quite well, it was lively, but Walker seemed to sit inside a lot. I don't know why, it just didn't make sense. It seemed like he was playing in the middle.
Indoors?
Yes,
In the bin
indoors.
shed.
That would be
He was
very,
in the
very
bin shed, he was
ineffective.
hiding in one of the wheelie bins. Anyway, glorious
laptop.
Robbie Nielsen swapped the wingers and put King on the left, and then we started coming into it a bit more. Quite scrappy, lots of bad challenges, lots of niggly challenges, and we kept playing long diagonals. It made me miss someone from another season who we're not going to talk about.
Yes.
So it feels like the game plan was kind of similar to how we approached Queen of the South, where we were terrified of their pitch. Was this an even scarier pitch? How monstrous was this pitch?
It was. I mean, it really was terrifying. You could see it was Osman Sow, like you said, physically sick.
I'm sure that was all to do with the pitch and not getting kicked in the throat.
It's like 95-5.
Yeah, that's
between the two of
If
those.
the pitch hadn't been there, he wouldn't have got kicked in the throat.
that's science, yeah. No, fair enough. From what I could gather from the sort of the Twitter updates and seeing everyone who was at the game tweeting updates and stuff like that, and from the highlights, it didn't look like we ever really got into a rhythm. The chance that Walker hit off the post, it looked like that was sort of self-manufactured. Didn't seem to be much going on really at all.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bolt from the blue.
Yeah.
We had some pressure, but not anything getting to Carrick and So. It wasn't getting into the box, and then when it was, people was just sort of getting stuck under their feet, or having a little pot shot and going wide, or whatever.
Yeah.
It just was a bit crap.
Certainly not our strongest.
So yeah, seems a bit ineffective really. Osman Sow had a nice flick layoff to Carrick in the first half, which was almost exciting. Carrick didn't come back for the second half. Was there any sort of signs why that might be? Was he just particularly ineffective?
Well, yeah, it just wasn't getting to them an awful lot, I don't think. I mean, if it looked like we should have been playing up the wings, that was where we were getting any joy. Crosses weren't really coming in and they weren't really reaching two strikers. So pulling Carrick off, putting Nicholson on, and playing with weirdly like sort of three wingers gave us a bit of pace through the middle, which meant we could either lay it off to the sides or try and get a shot in from the centre, which for the first few minutes of the second half seemed to actually work almost, except for the fact we didn't score. But then Alloa worked out how to deal with it by just dropping an extra body, and we were getting caught in the stramash again and again and again.
Did they work out that even though there was three wingers, there were still only two wings?
Well, it was a bit like that. I know it sounds weird saying three wingers, but like it was meaning sort of playing three with Nicholson helping on either side.
Ah, right, I see.
And
So
then
like he would flit from
He would
one
flip
side
from
to
one
the
to
other.
the other to try and deal with
free
the fact
roll.
they were getting doubled up on.
A free spirit.
A roamer.
A butterfly of a football player. Alighting whatever chance he sees.
That sounds like our Sammy.
So, and then in the second half, more things happened, I guess.
There was, well, at the end of the first half, there was that save from Alexander at the feet of, I think it was Greg Spence.
You think it was Greg Spence?
I'm just naming the only Alloa player that I know, and I know he's a striker. So
They had a player called Benedictus. It might have been him.
No, Kyle Benedictus is on loan from Dundee.
yeah,
Well, he was playing for them, regardless of that fact.
yeah, he played.
No, I'm just saying that's a fact that I know about an Alloa player. I'm just delighted.
Kyle Benedictus. Apparently, he's an
Stephen
absolute
Simmons
fucking
played for
crackpot.
them.
Stephen Simmons was playing, yeah.
Oh God, that's
I
right.
think he got booked.
Another
What a
one
blast
for
from the
ex
past
Jambo
there.
Watch. Oh, that reminds me actually, because I was listening to it on the radio. He was described by the co-commentator as ex Jambo favourite Stephen Simmons, and he goes,
Favourite.
Maybe he's our favourite Alloa player.
He now somehow looks even more like Mr. Garrison from South Park.
one of my
Big balloon head. He's still got that shite moustache as well. Would you like to know a fun fact about me?
Nah.
Not really.
The first ever name and number I got on the back of a football top was Simmons 28.
oh my God.
But the human choppa chop.
Yes, it was when he'd just broken through and he looked like a bit of a baller, and then it turned out he was atrocious.
How old were you when you made this decision?
Ah, God, 13? 12 or 13?
Well, it's just the first of Robert's incredible life decisions, and he has carried on at that sort of rate of success ever since.
Yeah, my life's just one big fucking regret, isn't it? But yeah, no, none more so than that. Stephen Simmons, man, Christ.
Back to the original point. Alexander made an excellent save in the first half.
Yeah, shit, sorry, we got sidetracked by pastors.
He didn't give away a penalty or anything.
Yeah, no,
That's
Alexander, it looked like a very impressive stop indeed.
Well done.
One of the frighteningly many times that an Alloa player was pretty much one-on-one with him
Yeah,
throughout the whole game.
yeah.
The important thing I want to know about is we've discussed the differences in pitch between Alloa and Queen of the South. I want to know differences of terracing.
Yes.
Because terracing is
Oh,
the
my
most
word.
fascinating subject we have this season.
They had an incredible wee stand that looked like one of those tents that you don't need to put any effort into putting up. You just sort of throw it and it's there.
So they just threw their stadium into the air.
Yeah, it's like boom, stand.
Like making a bed. Just
Yeah, they just sort of flapped it and that was that.
Subutio set.
And the terracing itself, how does it compare to Tururgo Street?
Turbo Street.
It's much like Turgo's Street because it had many drunk Hearts fans on it.
Oh yeah.
In that sense, it was similar. In every other sense, it was completely different, given
No.
the fact that it was made of muck.
Is it just like, is it even in the shape of steps?
No, it's just a slope,
Oh, right, okay.
an uneven slope that doesn't go in a sort of discernible pattern of slopiness, and at no point is
Gradient.
higher than the goal.
Oh,
So every single time someone puts it over the bar, it ends up somewhere in the ochels because it just goes over the back.
that's fair
It was
enough.
great.
So go to the Indodrill Stadium for a fantastic spectator experience.
They had quite flappy pies as well.
Flappy.
Flappy.
Floppy is probably a better word.
Flappy pies.
Even so, neither of those are adjectives I've ever heard in conjunction with pie before.
Well, it's sort of like I picked it up and it sort of like was bending round my thumb. It was
Like an iPhone 6.
it was like an iPhone 6. Except
You shouldn't have put it in your back pocket.
Pie phone.
Oh!
This is the worst
Sorry.
podcast ever.
Fuck.
So eventually we managed to struggle our way through the game. Alloa were dogged in defence, occasionally breaking, but things were ballooning everywhere. And then eventually there was the game's single solitary shot on target, and it came from the boot of Adam Eckersley. Now,
Yep.
he obviously won off the training ground this manoeuvre, flighted in a beautiful free kick straight onto the knee of an Alloa defender.
Yep, it was meant, you knew it was in him as soon as he hit it. That's a sort of stroke of luck though. I mean, I was saying it on Twitter, and there was actually a guy, Sten, was saying, these are the sorts of games when you don't play well that you still need to win. That's the traits of champions. I don't want to say, that's us champions, we've won the league, but that's what great teams do. You know, you look at the Man United teams down the years who've had to win ugly and stuff like that.
At
Not
Alloa.
this year, obviously, and not at
won the first
Alloa.
quarter.
But you know, you can only play the teams you're in front of you. But you know, it is good to see that we can grind out a result, and as well as, you know, absolutely fucking blow teams out of the water like we did with Livy and Cowdenbeath.
It is interesting to see Hibs drawing there, Hibs losing there, of course. Rangers drawing there, and us going there, not playing our best. And to be fair to them, Alloa playing quite well, quite impressive. Probably the legacy of Mr. Paul Hartley. Yeah. And us still coming away with 3 points somehow.
It is, to be honest, it is a huge result. It is a huge result because Alloa seem like a team that can really frustrate other teams. You know, they look good on the break and stuff like that. So yeah, to get a victory is huge.
I would go as far to say is that it's our most important victory of the season, just for the psychological boost it gives our players.
Yeah.
One, knowing that they can win while playing like a flappy pie. And two, because just the psychological boost of knowing that Rangers and Hibs both went there and failed to win. That gives them the confidence that there's nobody in the division that's invincible.
Yeah. Apart from us.
Apart from us. Yeah. We are unbeatable, as the song goes.
I've not heard anyone sing that song yet, thank
Don't say that. That ended in tears last time. That ended up in fucking John McGlynn last time. Yeah, just don't ever say that again and we'll be friends. Deal?
That's what we have
We've
to do.
got a deal.
Yay!
One last thing. Just you know, how did Robbie Nielsen look?
Stunning. As of course.
Obviously, but I mean, describe it. Just
there was
describe
a bold tactical choice this week of pairing the navy blue shirt with black trousers and brown shoes. I mean, I don't know how. It's a bold one. I don't know if it was from Dutch school or something, but it was it was fucking lovely.
Taking that straight from the Eredivisie school of dressing up. Fair enough. That's 3 different colours. That is bold. Actually, that's new.
3 colours that. Well, you say black and navy blue shouldn't really go together. Sometimes it does. Black and brown is also sometimes a fashion faux pas.
Yeah.
To wear those three together,
I know.
very
Well, it
bold.
shows you the kind of bold tactical decision making at the very top of our club.
I
think if there's one
that
man
is paying
that can make it
dividends.
work, it's Robbie Nielsen.
It shows you the stature of the man that we've got in the dugout, I think.
It makes me feel very confident that he can wear clothes in the future.
Yep.
So, I think that has wrapped up everything we can usefully say about a gritty and very useful win. You may have noticed that we're not finishing this episode just yet because quite handily, playing Alloa means we've played all the other teams in our division at least once. It's time for a quarterly review, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you primed?
I'm rigid.
Tumescent.
I'm 1 quarter rigid. Because
Quarter boy.
because that's what felt appropriate. So, well, I guess the first question to ask is, of the 9 teams that we played, who has caused us the most problems?
Demonstrably Dumbarton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stopped their scoring.
I'd say so, yeah. The only team that have actually stopped us from scoring so far this season.
The buggers.
Other than Celtic, obviously, but that was a cup game anyway. Yeah, just sort
Diddy
of...
Cup.
Diddy
Doesn't
Cup.
matter.
Exactly, yeah. Fuck the cup.
Yeah, I would say actually, I mean, for all their hilarious terribleness, I think Hibs actually gave us the hardest game.
Hardest game at Tynecastle. For sure was Hibs. Away from home, Dumbarton was obviously harder because we didn't win.
Yeah.
But at Tynecastle, Hibs was the most difficult game.
I would say so.
And we still pissed all over the little bastards.
Didn't we just?
That's Hibs who had the ball over the line yesterday and still did not score a goal. That's becoming a bad habit.
How much more do they have to do?
Oh, Hibs. Keep Hibsing.
Tybie's going to Hibs.
At Tynecastle, yeah, I'd say Hibs was the most difficult game. But that is, to be fair, the other games we beat Falkirk 4-0, Livingston 5-0, Cowdenbeath 5-1.
Wraith 4-1 away.
Yeah, there's been
There's been a couple of wee tonkings.
There has a couple of thronkings.
So like throbbing and tonking together.
That's just
throbbing.
Make of it what you will. It's whatever you want it to be. But yeah, no, Hibs raised their game for us, and we saw them raise their game for Rangers as well, obviously by beating them. So
it never really sort of speaks to a great personality if your players can't get it up for the bread and butter games.
that is true. Yeah, that is true.
So who's been the player of the season so far, Mr. Fridgey?
Oh, it's a hard one. It's between two, but I'm going to say Morgaro Gomez.
I'm going to agree with you.
He's just been absolutely non-stop, winning the ball constantly throughout every 90 minutes that he's played. Just
He
hard
still
work
hasn't had a
winning the
song.
ball.
Not yet. Well, like, it's incredible. Christian Nadi got a song before Osman Sow, so...
That's true. Ian, who would you say your player of the year so far has been?
I get actually, yeah. I hate to agree with Fridge on anything, but Gomez has been the most consistently good.
I'm going to be different from all of you. So take that. I would say our player of the year so far has been Billy King.
It's an interesting perspective, certainly.
It's most assists, second top goal scorer. I think he's contributed really to more goals than anyone else in the team.
He is
apart from maybe Osman Sow.
He is a cutting edge, but I think Morgaro gives him the platform to perform as he does with everybody, and just the way he drops back to the defence. He's the first player that anybody with the ball looks for to build. It
would be interesting to see how many times Billy King's put the head down and driven forward, which is what he does very well, then lost the ball for Gomez to sweep it up for him.
Yeah.
Because that's not the kind of stat that gets counted.
But don't fucking get me wrong, I like Gomez.
Look, I will get you wrong, you Gomez hater.
I prefer Prince anyway, so... but yeah, no, Billy King for me has been our best player this year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Favourite goal?
Osman Sow at Ibrox.
Yeah.
So at Ibrox,
straight after they scored, the look on their faces, the look on your face as you jumped on me.
The look on everyone's face was tremendous. No, I'd say for sheer scenes, if not, probably not the best goal of the season. I think that almost goes unreservedly to Sam Nicholson against the Hibs. But so
that's the sound of a lot of blood moving to a lot of penises.
Is that what that is? I wasn't sure. But for me, for the scenes and for setting us off on this quite incredible run of games, I would say Osman Sow's at Ibrox. Anyone care to disagree? Anyone care to agree?
I think a winner at Ibrox is always going to have a...
In the 92nd minute, yeah. It's tough to beat.
I really like Adam Eckersley.
Don't be stupid. This is a podcast. It's serious.
What's been the biggest surprise of the season for you, Robert?
For me, maybe the fact that we have gone unbeaten. To be honest with you, because see when we got that fixture list out at the start of the season, Rangers, then Hibs, and then closely after that, Falkirk, who have actually been quite a massive disappointment this year, Falkirk. But I didn't expect us to be going into the second quarter of fixtures completely unbeaten. I think that has surprised me looking back. Obviously, with the way that I've seen us play as the weeks progress, it's not really been a huge surprise. But if we're looking at thoughts from the start of the season, I'd say that's a bit of a surprise for myself.
Fridgey?
I think the greatest surprise of the first quarter is just the sheer amount of goals that we're scoring.
Yeah.
You've seen our fucking goal difference.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I just looked at it yesterday and I was like, what?
Aye, plus 22 now or something like that.
It's 23.
Plus 23, aye.
9 games, 23 goals to the good.
That's
what?
Not bad.
Yep.
Not bad.
Well, that ties into something that surprised me, is just how defensively solid that we've been.
Yeah.
4 goals conceded. 4.
In 9 games.
In 9 games. That's less than half a goal a game.
And we're a bit worried about that. We were talking yesterday about how worried we are about how leaky our defence is.
It is.
Because sometimes Ozturk, just can't really be bothered to tackle immediately. He's just going to do it a few yards further back.
Yeah. It's
really scary.
Considering we have a centre half who wants to be a number 9 striker,
yep.
Sort of trying to release himself from his centre half spot of doom. Considering that, to only concede 4 goals, 2 of which were against Hibs and Rangers, it's not bad at all, really.
Just considering that it's by far our least sort of strong department in terms of depth.
Yeah.
And and the fact that our fullbacks are teenagers most of the time, and Ozturk, I don't know, that he's like the one question mark I have in basically the entire squads. Just can he actually knuckle down and concentrate? Now, to be fair, we've played a lot of difficult games and we've come through it relatively unscathed, but it just feels like it's going to happen at some point, and I'm worried. I'm scared.
I think the thing with Ozturk is he does a lot of good. He does a lot of good, but then his sort of moments of sheer and utter batshit madness kind of come to the fore, because you don't really notice the good things that anyone does, really, because that's them doing their job. But
especially in defence.
He does win a lot of headers and he does play it out well a lot of the time, but he's got that part of his game where there's a lapse of concentration in there. It's not cost us yet, but he put through Kenny Miller on goal at Ibrox and stuff like that.
It reminds me a little bit of Boozed.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
A bit mental.
Yeah,
and usually solid, but occasionally, having the capability of being a bit mental sometimes.
Yeah.
So hopefully he scores a diving header against Celtic.
Yes, aye.
I'm still waiting to see him score a long shot. It's coming.
Yeah, he's definitely going to score an absolute raker this season, and I really hope it's at Easter Road in the last minute.
I kind of get the impression.
Last kick of the ball, last game of the season against Rangers to win the league, even though there will be 12 points ahead.
Sure.
Can I just chuck in with a surprise from this season, which doesn't really get mentioned? Is we're really quite well run at the moment. It's totally non-football playing related thing, but
more a pleasant surprise than a kind of surprise.
Sort of, the new website's quite nice, and the tweets are informative and useful, and ticketing arrangements have been broadly sensible, and we haven't had any like weird Russian oligarchs running us.
That's true.
I can't wait for Aaron Budge's first tirade, controversial tirade at the footballing authorities.
It's almost boring, all this
like
consistent winning and non-mentalness. No, that's a lie. It's fucking great.
Yes, I think we're all enjoying this season immensely, which brings us on to the next category: funniest Hibs moment.
Oh, funniest Hibs moment.
there's a lot. There's a lot to wade through here.
That's a surprise that you didn't tell me this was happening. This is fucking great.
You could have told me this earlier, so you could have made a spreadsheet or something. I don't know.
A dossier of Hibs.
Can I start with the funny moment when they decided that they were eligible for an emergency loan because they were fucking yad,
and then it didn't go through. that was a good moment. What's my favourite Hibs moment of the year?
Funniest Hibs
moment. Oh God, it's just every week.
It's the whole thing. Yeah,
it's there's so many.
I think I find particularly hilarious the best goal they've scored in their campaign being a meaningless loser, a meaningless consolation against Hearts.
Yes, El Alagi expertly plucking it out there and then spanking it in.
Doesn't mean
couldn't make one fuck of a difference. You still got pumped again. I quite liked the games that they lost, especially the one at Alloa when they were so confident. Also mentioned on last week's show, actually, when they set off a flare after going 1-0 down at Palmerston Park against Queen of the South.
We've not got very good form on that either, but we'll leave that.
That's fine. Just pretty much everything about them. I just hope they don't ever stop being Hibs.
I just quite enjoyed how confident and up for the battle they were when they needed a fluke goal from their goalkeeper to beat Livingston at home.
Hibs' successes have been quite hilarious in themselves. So they beat Cowdenbeath at home, I think.
Last
with a last gasp winner
after
from
being 2-0 down.
I think it was Cummings, wasn't it, with him and his weird waxy face and strange hair. And they scored a goal from their goalkeeper. And then the one I enjoyed the most out of all the moments involving Hibs this season, though, is the fact that yet again they go to Ibrox and pump Rangers and then somehow go back to Easter Road and draw with Dumbarton. The fuck is wrong with these people?
No, if I can just correct you, they did draw with Wraith Rovers before that as well.
Well, whatever. So two shite.
Actually, yeah, Christian Nadi is one of my favourite
Oh,
goals of
yes.
the fucking season.
I was waiting for you guys to come in with that because Christian Nadi was a hilarious moment on an amount of levels. In the Dumbarton game, like we said, they scored a penalty and still drew the game 0-0, which is fantastic. And just everything that happened at Ibrox also was absolutely hilarious because you could see the belief growing. It's like, we've got a new system. We've got a new way of playing. This is it, lads. The season started. The season what?
Oh, that'll be 2 draws in a row against shit opposition. Hibs,
How much?
if you're listening, don't stop. Don't stop being Hibs.
I mean, if we were having this exact season without Hibs, it'd be alright, but
It would be nowhere near as fun. It's great. As soon as they got relegated, I was just so giddy.
It was a proper sort of, this is going to be brilliant.
Yeah. Great stuff. Wonderful.
any other general thoughts from the season so far?
Nah.
Thanks.
Succinct, Fridgey.
You just ask Fridge for thoughts.
That's the response you're going to get. Well, then all that remains is for songs. We need to honour the queer hero from Alloa, Mr. Adam Eckersley, who is another surprising player getting a song before Gomez or so.
Yes, Beckersley.
So who wants to go first?
I'm ready to leave it to one of our fine guests to go first.
Fridgey?
Mine is really, really awful.
That matters not. They're usually awful. That's the point.
I just made it up on the spot, really. I wasn't
Just
aware
get
it was
on
going to
with
be
it.
that good.
I'm cutting out all these excuses.
Eckersley. He's Adam Eckersley. Told you it was bad.
Oh, I feel infinitely less bad about mine now.
It's the first appearance on the podcast for the Shaman, but hopefully not the last.
Lordy. Right, okay. Who's
What's
next?
the second line?
No, that's it. You ever heard this song?
Just wanted to make sure.
You didn't even go to the effort. There's a guy in the place with a beard on his face.
It just made it better with 2 seconds.
That's fine though. Who's next?
Well, you had more
I
time
want
than
this
me.
out of the way because I don't like singing. Yeah. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause Adam Eckersley is actually alright. Rose up that morning, headed to Alloa. 3 little points was all I wanted. Singing heart songs with alcohol pure and true. This is my message to you. And repeat ad infinitum.
Yeah, that's what a debut performance.
Superb.
Right. Is it me?
You are next in the clockwise spiral.
Okay, right, let's do this. When you find yourself with left back trouble, Ginger plays sign for free. When it's not McHattie, Eckersley. Eckersley, 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 oh Eckersley. Scoring goals deflected, Eckersley. Yep.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. So, pump up the volume.
Dance.
Alloa sat deep and time was ticking by. You took that free kick and hit it off some guy. And now we're 9 points clear, though McHattie didn't play. 'Cause Adam was a hero. Adam Eckersley, he plays alright. Adam Eckersley has ginger hair. Adam Eckersley, ba-ba, ba-ba. Adam Eckersley, but we don't care.
Wow.
Well, it's just been a strong week apart from Fridge.
I'd just like to apologise to everyone involved.
To the listeners.
Well, seeing how you're never ever going to win, Fridgey, we're going to give you the vote then. Who won?
Iain Walker, Mr. Walker.
Iain Walker.
Iain Walker.
Because Adam Eckersley is actually alright. Right, well, thank you so much for joining us, both Fridgey and Iain Walker. No doubt we will have both of you back on the show before the end of the season.
Yes.
So we will be back next week with all the fun and frolics from our game against Dumbarton.
Yes.
In the meantime, please check us out on Tumblr, wehavenocares.tumblr.com, where you will find links to all the old episodes, be that on iTunes, RSS, or indeed YouTube, which is how it actually should be pronounced.
YouTube. Yes.
You can follow us on Twitter.
At Fridgey Town.
At Iain Walker 5, with the Ian spelt correctly.
And how is that?
Well, see, you need to know, don't you? That's IAIN.
There we go.
2 eyes.
2 eyes.
To watch
like
you.
the ones in your face, because that's the right amount.
You can find myself at RF Borthwick.
At Nickel Hay. We're going away now, Steve Crawford.
Steve Crawford.
Steve Crawford.
Amaruso, that's a run, it's a down!